Well, we are in the end game, sir. And before we talk about the end, let's talk about the beginning. The very beginning. Almost more than 10 years, in fact. We're going to talk about the very first MCU film with old Tony Stark in Iron Man. How is this going to fare after all this time, after all these movies? Is it still that good? Find out in a very AC/DC soundtrack version of the review. Box of scraps!
God damn it, you beat me to it. Welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give your big, dumb opinions. I am Troy to the max extreme of scraps.
I'm Obi.
Of scraps.
Of scraps.
And we are being joined via the internet today by the one, the only, Dinosaur Neil. Dinosaur Neil.
Of scraps.
Of scraps.
Dinosaur Neil of scraps.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going?
It's going very well, Neil. I'm glad you're back in the virtual studio once again.
Yeah. With your ice clanging on your screwdriver.
Ah, yes, baby.
Good ASMR going over
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
glass clinking
Glass clinking.
on the ice. He just licks his chops and I puke because I hate that sound. So yeah, we are starting at the very beginning. The end is the beginning is the end. The Smashing Pumpkins said it best. See what I did there? I don't even like the Smashing Pumpkins, but I know that.
Well, it was shown pretty prominently in that Watchmen trailer, though.
Boy, was it, JT. And do I know a lot about Watchmen? Let's just talk about Watchmen.
Okay.
Just kidding. We are going into the first Iron Man movie, what kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Before even Disney had its mouse-grubbing hands all over
The
it.
small seedling that has now blossomed into the giant sequoia.
The juggernaut, if you will.
Yes.
I can say that now because I bought Fox.
Okay, good. I was getting a little worried you were going to get sued there for a second.
But before we get into that, of course, you know we're going to get into some news, and boy, was that a treacherous minefield to look for news today.
Yeah, I couldn't even find a lot of news.
I have some bits. Neil, did you come with any?
Let me tell you about the Mueller report. Oh my god.
I'm usually the one that gets political.
Oh, this is going to get redacted up in here.
Neil, before you start, let me say no collusion.
Completely exonerated. 100%.
Well, I did find a little bit of things here. So, if you don't mind, I'll start off. If you have
All
anything.
right. Whatever,
Why
Troy.
don't you just chime in, you dumb bastard. Starting with Fox. We brought them up just right at the head of the show as a little joke.
Yeah.
Are they still a joke? Find out.
Well, they barely exist.
Right now.
Well, Fox Films had a bunch of stuff in production before it got bought up by Disney. And now a few things are getting the axe. They're not getting progressed any further.
Oh, no.
Due to the House of Mouse. Including such things as a Tom Hanks starring movie.
Not that Mr. Rogers one.
Not the Mr. Rogers one. It's something called News to the World. I don't know what it is. Could have been bad. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Disney just threw out everything that wasn't already a thing before.
Yeah. But they also threw out a movie called Mouse Guard, which was going to be like an animated movie featuring like a ton of voice talent, and it's based off a comic book. So I'm surprised they didn't like snatch up. At least they have the IP, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they cut it out of production because it was going to go very soon into production, like next month, and they just halted it right off the bat.
There's one mouse and one mouse only, and it's not this one.
That's right.
We can't have any other mice fucking with our mouse.
So that got the boot as well, and there's a plenty of other things. But you're right, JT. If it wasn't like already like an established franchise that can already bank off of, they're not going forward with pretty much anything.
Unless it's like Pixar or their animation department, I don't think they make anything that's an original idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. That's the world we live in, folks.
It is. It is.
And we buy it every time.
We do.
Consumerism.
Yeah. Familiar.
Hey, I want to check back in with Hellboy for a little bit.
But we talked so much about it last week.
Yeah, we did. So, Hellboy, with a budget of $50 million, as of last week, worldwide was up to $24.6 million.
Yeah.
Not great.
No. Not good.
A week out, it dropped 68% at the box office.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a steep drop, but second week stuff usually drops pretty hard anyways.
Yeah.
Unless you're a movie probably like Endgame.
Yeah.
But even then, it'll probably see like a 20% drop anyway.
Yeah.
It dropped 68%, which is, I mean, if you think about it, putting near 70%.
Oof.
Almost, which is nearly 80.
Or my favorite number, 69%.
Oh, my.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice. I never watched past 69%.
That's a good running joke we need to keep going now, because I think we did that last week too. All of all the shows just run together now.
Yep.
I don't know what it said last week from a Monday show to anything. They're all
I go
just
back
the
and
same.
listen to our shows to try and make sure I somewhat keep our good running jokes fresh in my mind.
Very good. Very good.
I'm a professional.
I can tell. You bring in an air of professionalism every time you
I also
show up.
like, I know that no one can see this, but I just like your shirt that just says Midwest for some reason.
You're welcome.
It just says Midwest.
It's in the Netflix logo. I
It's
thought it was
big.
kind of fun. But it just says Midwest, and that's it. Red
It's
letters
just
on black
a
shirt.
black shirt with big block red letters that says Midwest.
That's it.
That'll partner well with your Ope shirt.
Yeah. Oh, that's going on tomorrow for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Let me sneak past you. Great purchase on my part. Anyway, Hellboy has climbed to the worldwide box office to $99.3 million at the worldwide box office. So it's about doubled its budget. So I'm assuming it's gonna roughly be shy of breaking even by the time Endgame comes out, like, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then nobody will remember Hellboy came out ever again.
It'll be buried in a time capsule.
It'll be buried in the garbage underneath even lesser movies. So yeah, that's the update on Hellboy. Surprised? Anyone?
Well, we were all chomping at the bit for that more Hellboy news,
Oh, that's true.
since we know we talked about it almost too much last week.
Yeah.
A lot.
I decided we just needed to wean off of it. We can't just have a hard break.
That's true. That's true. We put on the Hellboy patch for today.
Yeah. Yeah. In Netflix news, JT and Neil, don't want to leave you out.
Thank
You may have some disturbing news if you're a fan of sitcoms, especially the NBC sitcom The Office.
Uh-oh.
Now, Netflix has a deal with NBC to able to stream The Office up through 2021.
Yeah.
But come that time, NBC may not let them have it back. Unless, of course, they throw like $1 billion at them or something like that. But, so The Office is like the #1 watch show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Still. And so it is only in contention because NBC most likely, or Comcast more likely that owns NBC, wants to have its own streaming service, obviously.
Yeah. Everyone wants their own streaming service.
And so that will be a big draw if it has it on their streaming service specifically, so they may not give it back. But we'll see what happens with that.
I wouldn't have been the least bit surprised if they just went, now it's The Office, just streaming. That's all it is The Office. You can stream The Office.
Yeah. Buy the latest NBC app, The Office.
Because right before we started recording, C Danger was like, well, if it's going to be taken off the air, then, like, we need to buy all the DVDs again. And I'm just like, when do you ever watch a DVD? And it, like, literally shattered a universe that I was right. that we haven't put in a DVD since I tried to find the Iron Man 1 to watch it in my hovel of a recording studio in here. That's the last time I watched a DVD, and I couldn't even remember how long. Even if I own the movie now, I'm just like, I'll just rent it for $3. Because I don't even have a DVD player or a game console in my living room or in my bedroom. I only have the PS4 now in, like, my comic room.
Yeah.
And that's it. And nobody but me wants to watch a movie in here. So I guess they're just for me, and I haven't bought a DVD in forever.
I like to keep them just in case, when the end of the world comes about.
Well, then I'll always have my books until I break my glasses I don't own.
I had time now. I had time.
Neil, what do you think about physical media? Let's get into a physical media
Sure,
tangent.
physical media.
Yeah.
I will watch a DVD/Blu-ray if I do have it. However, like, actually books now I prefer to read digitally, whether it be comic or just like novel.
Yeah.
And I actually like buying physical like games, like PlayStation games and stuff. But that's like about it. DVDs and stuff, I haven't purchased one in like 3 or 4 years. So
See, I've gotten way used to buying just games online now because I'm so bad at keeping track of games, and then I'm especially bad at putting them away, so the disc always ends up getting scratched and I get fucked. So I'm in love with just buying them online, especially like being part of PS Plus where they give you like a free game every month.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
That shit's awesome.
It's so great. I have so many of those I've never played and will
I know.
never play.
I've probably played a grand total of like 5 minutes on every PS Plus game I've gotten.
So when I was gifted my PlayStation, I also was gifted 3 months of PlayStation Plus for on top of it.
Yeah.
And every single game that's come out, I'm like, I'll never play that. So I never downloaded any of them. And I'm just like, should I be kicking myself? Why? Like, why would I download it and take up the space?
Well, you don't have to because you can keep it in your library.
Yeah.
And then you can download it when you want it.
I get it.
Yep.
Okay.
Just always add it to your library, regardless if you'll download it or not.
Yeah.
Even if I don't even look at it?
Yeah.
Even if I know myself and be like, I'll never
I
play
literally
that.
own like 70 games, and I've probably played like a grand total of 10 of them completely all the way through.
Yeah, second. And the problem is with you, Troy, is that your PlayStation Plus account will probably relapse after these 3 months, but then you'll never get to play those because you need to keep the account active to play them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So maybe you're doing the right thing already.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Moving on with news, that Disney Plus, speaking of streaming services, Disney Plus is going to be a thing starting this November. If we haven't set a price already, it's going to be $7
Yeah.
to get the Disney Plus, which is quite a ballsy move to come out and be like, here you go. Here's my $7 price point for all the things you love. Suck on mine, every streaming service.
But hey, I think it's like a drug dealer method where it's like, I'm gonna give you a taste.
Yeah.
They want to jack up the price when you can't get enough.
Yeah. Oh, it's for sure what it is. But WandaVision, you excited about this?
Wanda?
Like Wanda Sykes?
Yep. No. What? Like Scarlet Witch and the Vision is gonna have their own television serialized show on the.
It's gonna be like a sitcom, like I Dream of Jeannie.
I couldn't tell you what it is, but it starts filming this fall. Regardless,
she's a witch and he's a thing, and
you saw him die in Infinity War. Now he's coming back in this. Whoops.
Is it so? It's going to be a live action thing with the actual like Paul Bettany and stuff.
As far as I know, yeah, and they're having like also the Winter Soldier and Falcon series, which I think is also getting Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie for it.
I know Mackie for sure in his Twitter post he had about it.
Oh man, if only we're doing Mac news still.
Oh, break it out.
Mac news.
And then I think there's one other one that they're getting the person back for. Oh, the Loki series, they're getting Hiddleston back.
Yeah.
And then
They're making a Monsters Inc. TV show with John Goodman and Billy Crystal doing the voices.
My God.
Like, they are just scoring back.
Oh, and I think they're also doing a Hawkeye one with Renner. So, like,
Wow.
they're whipping out the fliff for this.
For shows.
Yeah.
Not
For-
like
yeah,
movies?
for shows. The WandaVision one is going to be 6 hours long. So I don't know if it's going to be 6 installments of hours or 12, like, 20-minute episodes or something like that. But, so yeah, look forward to that for, like, the worst titled thing in the world.
WandaVision.
I said it to you and you had no idea what I was even talking about.
And I said Wanda Sykes. So, fuck.
So if you want to watch 6 straight hours of Wanda Sykes, Disney Plus is the app for you. Now, while I was mining the Endgame spoilers tonight while getting some news, I did poke around and see what an estimated budget for Endgame could have possibly been.
Yeah.
Now, they did film this back to back.
Yeah, they filmed them back to back.
But reportedly, the budget for them is $350 to $400 million.
That's like probably still a drop in the bucket for what they're gonna make, though.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just for Endgame, because Infinity War had to be almost just as expensive.
Yeah.
Because I thought I heard that this movie, way back when, before they both went into production, was going to be close to $1 billion to make.
Yeah.
I mean, for them, for the total.
Yeah.
And and now, just seeing what Infinity War brought, and what this one is supposedly going to bring,
Yeah.
How is Endgame not going to make like $2 billion?
Yeah. It's gonna
You
be
think
insane.
2 billion?
Like, well, that's a
Are we
lot.
gonna do a double bill? Double bill bell?
You'll have to buy you a bell.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
And by buy you a bell means just get another mason jar to turn upside down.
With our bells combined.
But, how fast do you think... Because this movie's going to make $1 billion,
Yeah.
obviously. So, like, how fast do you think it's going to get there?
I'll give it 3 weeks. Maybe 2.
3 weeks. Because, like...
Is that including pre-sales? Because isn't that already, like, enormously high?
Pre-sales would probably factor into the first week.
Yeah. They would go already into, like, the first week's box office, I
Yeah.
think. I should have looked up to see what's the fastest movie to make $1 billion. Let me ask Google right now. What's the fastest movie? Oh, that's not a good question. It's still
So much porn.
What's the first movie to make $1 billion the fastest?
What? That was a weird way to...
According to Wikipedia, by 1980, Star Wars became the first movie to reach a $500 million worldwide gross.
$500
Since
million.
then, 200 fil-
Shut up, Google. I screwed it up, so I'm screwing myself hard. It's only saying... Oh, fastest to 1 billion, Titanic was. In just 74 days.
Oh my.
I bet it's going to get there faster than that.
I want to
sure.
say there was something
That seems
faster
like
than
it's
that.
weird than Titanic. I don't think this is updated enough, Wikipedia. Oh, it's Avengers Infinity War. That became the fastest. And I'm an idiot. It got there in 11 days.
Okay. So yeah, it's going to get there. In
I would say faster than 11 days even. Because this is huge.
Yeah. The culmination.
I joked that it would get there opening weekend. And I don't even think that's that big of a joke, because it's starting today.
Yeah. There's theaters that or AMC is keeping their theaters open for 72 hours straight.
Yeah. I saw showings for 6 a.m. And I'm like, I don't see how it can't at least make $750 million on opening weekend. It's insane. Like, that's a huge chunk of change, I know.
Yeah.
But it's got to be playing at, like, what, 7,000 theaters or something like that? I think there's only 4,000 something in the U.S., and every single one is going to be showing it.
And then Disney has that ongoing thing where every theater has to keep their movies in the 2 biggest theaters of every theater for, like, what, like a month?
It's either that or it's got to be a month. Or the first 3 weeks, depending on, like, the box office draw.
Yeah.
and then like all the theaters worldwide. So it's gotta be insane.
Yeah.
Insane. But that's all the news I got.
Mucho dinero. I don't have a lot more.
Neil, you want to start reading the Mueller report while he's looking for news?
Yeah. Okay, page 1.
The Mueller report by Robert Mueller.
And then
Bob
Trump
Mueller.
said, "I'm fucked."
Yeah. He slouched back in his chair and said, "This is the end of my presidency.
I'm fucked. That is a literal thing in the Mueller report too.
That's page 1. Wow.
That is page 1.
What a gripping opening sentence.
I think I only have one other thing that you didn't say.
Sweet. I
And
fished all his news.
You fished my news.
I fished your news like I fish in Red Dead. Great.
Yes!
Oh boy! Wow! The only thing I can find is that Nickelodeon is making
out.
an animated Star Trek series.
I think I saw this, but I couldn't really decipher what it was saying, because it was they saying some weird animation studio was doing it or something.
Yeah, fuck, what is it? It's CG.
Oh, CG, come on, get to tradish.
It's animated. It's animation.
I mean, barely.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No,
Look at this fucking...
Listen, I'm a big fan of 2D traditional animation. Okay, you just get
I hear you.
You just get the nice nitty gritty of it. It's not polished. You get to see the
Get to see the
inner
lines,
workings. The lines.
the lines even.
Oh my god, I just remembered the line in Endgame. All of them.
the line!
The line, JT.
Oh.
The line, Dino Neil.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine it?
Well, it's not going to have those canceled Netflix series, guys, like you were hoping, but...
That you know about.
I'm gonna call you if the line shows up. I'm just gonna Troy.
During
Watching
the
the
movie.
line. Watching the line.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. You guessed it. The line is here. Everyone's like, shh. I'm sitting in shit over here.
Shut up. Shit. I've been shitting nonstop for 3 hours.
Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Neil, you got anything really to add?
Anything besides the Mueller report you want to add, Neil?
News-wise, no.
Great.
Okay.
Well, then why don't we just jump into some trailers?
Are they done?
I think so. Neil, did you hear they were done?
Wait a minute. Did you say they're done?
They're done.
They're done.
It's done here.
We're done here.
That's a good joke we do all the time. Never gets old. I got 3 trailers, JT.
I also have 3 trailers.
Neil, did you see any trailers?
I got one for sure. That's about it.
Okay.
I got a small one if you don't mind me starting out.
Go for
To
it!
get this one out of the way. Excuse me, I feel a burp coming on, so it might surprise me if it comes out. Never mind, it was right there. I said last week that there was a bit of a teaser for that Swamp Thing coming out to the DC Universe. After they said that it might not be good and are cutting it short.
Now they're putting out as much marketing as possible.
Yeah, no
for it.
shit, they're doubling down on it now.
I mean, it's still good though. You should check it out.
They put out a full-on trailer today.
Yeah.
I can't make really heads or tails of it by the trailer. It's got a creepy atmosphere to it that I'm digging a lot. Very horror-centric. It looks like it would be very gory. And just gauging by what's already on the DC Universe app, I can see it being over the top. Like extreme, like shockingly violent. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, even though I'm now scared that it's going to be very bad.
Yeah.
But I really couldn't make heads or tails of what was going on in the trailer because there was a lot of quick cuts and stuff.
Same.
Yeah.
This is actually the trailer I was going to reference, and I saw it and was immediately the most unwowed by anything ever. It was not good, in my opinion, but I haven't been looking forward to it for as long as you have, I guess. Troy.
Well, I was, because I'm a big fan of the source material, and I'm actually rereading it right now. And it's so good, but then I want to say they're not going to capture like the feeling that the book is trying to give off. You know what I mean? It's produced by James Wan, and so he's a really good horror guy. But then at the same time, like I don't know if people will really watch this. I know a lot of the hardcore fans are really like, yeah, I'm stoked for it. But then to hear it was like, yeah, we're going to cut it short. We're going to rewrite an ending. It's like, oh, boy. And then for them actually doubling down. And like, well, probably some promo material. Because it does come out next month.
We're going to recast Swamp Thing. Instead of a man in a Swamp Thing costume, it's going to be Gilbert Godfrey.
Just gonna
I live in a swamp!
Just throw muck and grass on him. Just have him be pissed. But yeah, I couldn't make heads or tails of it. I liked the atmosphere the trailer gave off, but otherwise I have no idea what's going on yet. So, I'm curiously optimistic. I'll just say that.
Right.
I'll say that.
I just don't give a shit.
I know you don't. That's why I wanted to get this one out of the way first.
All right. Thanks there, old Midwest.
I'm Mr. Midwest to you, buddy.
Oh, boy. Pulled a gun on me.
Don't tread on me, bitch. Anyway, you go ahead, Joel, because I think I got your other trailers.
Okay. Well, I'll do the one that I know you don't have, which is they put out a new trailer for Hobbs and Shaw.
After I heard you just visibly, or heard you be so happy watching this.
I want to see this in theaters. I want to see. This is literally the most ridiculous action I've seen in a movie. There's a scene where the Rock, while driving a truck at full speed, just sticks his arm out and grabs a guy driving a motorcycle and then throws him into a wall while still driving the truck.
Didn't you say he pulls down a helicopter with his bare arms?
Yes, he connects. He connects multiple trucks to a helicopter, and then with his own strength pulls down the helicopter.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Hobbs and Shaw for no reason, just that it sounds so stupid that I'm gonna love it.
Man, I can't wait to get into those Fast and Furious movies too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I watched the first one already. Get ready.
I have yet to dive into them
The
yet.
first just a little spoiler for our first Fast and the Furious review. I watched it, and it's barely a movie.
Oh, great.
Boy.
Good thing we're only doing like 30-minute eps, hopefully. Yeah, I just watching you watch the trailer made me giddy to maybe
Dude, it's
for this movie because you were loving every second.
Man,
of this.
even Idris Elba just out of nowhere just saying, "I'm the Black Superman," and then like him like punching through a wall, and then them cutting to the Rock saying, "He really is the Black Superman."
What is even happening?
I want this movie in my life.
Sounds like you want it in your body.
Yeah, put it inside me in some way.
Is Roman Reigns in this one?
He is. They show him in it too, because there's a part in it where they decide that they need to get Hobbs's family involved, so it's a bunch of like Samoan dudes in grass skirts, and they just like grab a bunch of like weird like man-made cutting materials and fight Idris Elba and his army of supermen.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
But it sounds a bit racist.
But I can't wait. I want to see the fuck out of this movie so bad.
Sounds great. I go on with your other one.
The other one I'll bring up, and the one that I know that you saw, Troy, because you were also watching it before we got started, was Will Smith.
Yeah.
Is going to be in a new film directed by Ang Lee.
Yes.
Called Gemini Man.
Yes.
And oh my god, just say the line that's in the trailer.
You mean when young Will Smith says this to old Will Smith? They made a person out of another person?
Oh my god.
It made me think of immediately that Exhibit meme that said like from Pimp My Ride. It's like, we put a TV inside your TV or something like that. Just so stupid.
I listened to people review this today, and they said that it's like imagine if Will Smith was pitted against the Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
because it's just the only way they made Will Smith look younger is that they did a little CG to his face and they gave him a flat top.
Yeah, is that his son? Does anyone know if that's his son and they're CGing his face over it?
It could be.
Maybe.
I thought I
don't know.
heard that because I thought like one of his sons
Jaden?
a lot like him. I don't know if it's
Just
Jaden.
the two of them?
Just the two of them. I'm gonna look this up.
They could make it if they try.
Come on, IMDb, load. I have one, but anyway, I'm not done talking about Gemini Man really quick because they also play a terrible version of Forever Young over it.
It's so bad.
It's like a weird, like, almost like a Daft Punk version.
It's the ongoing trend of getting creepy people to sing hit songs to like really slow music.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe it is. He plays a dual role. I'm not sure.
Oh man, I gotta play a little bit of this song. Let me find it. Keep going.
I'm still trying to find the top billed cast. I guess Will Smith does play a dual role in it.
Yeah. Listen to part of this song.
He knew every move of mine before I made it. Take the shot.
It's such a shitty song.
Oh my god.
Now watch, that's gonna be stuck in my head forever, and then I'll end up being like, I love that song.
It's gonna be our new theme song.
Yeah. But the only thing that's got me going about this movie is that it's directed by Ang Lee.
Yeah.
And he usually doesn't make bad things that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean the Hulk was awesome.
The Hulk was different. But then he made stuff like Life of Pi.
Life of Pi is really good.
And then he made like Brokeback Mountain,
Yeah.
which was a good movie. And then I'm missing another big one. But oh, never mind. That's not. I was gonna say Mission Impossible 2. I don't think that's right. Wasn't Ang Lee.
No.
That was
Who's the guy that does all the doves?
I
That
keep
did
wanting
Face
to
Off.
say James Wan, and that's not right.
No, it's not.
Anyway, it's not him. But anyway, so that's the only reason I'm kind of curious about it.
Oh yeah.
But otherwise, it looks kind of.
The CG on Will Smith looks kind of shaky though for the young him, because there's like parts where like, they like zoom in on him and it looks like the CG's like trying to like maintain itself. Like it kind of like strikes me as Will Smith as Genie CG a little bit, where it's like keep it there.
See, I don't think it looks. I didn't catch any of that. And if you did, I'm sure it still has time to tighten it up.
for sure. I think it comes out in October.
Oh, so that's got time.
It's got time.
It's got time. Watch, it'll be win Best Picture. Who knows? I have one more trailer. And it's probably the big one that came out this last week.
Yeah.
I guess if you count blockbusters big, even though they might stink. Godzilla King of the Monsters
Yeah.
had a full-fledged trailer come out.
This one also had an amazing line in it where a guy goes, "Oh my god," and then another guy goes, "Zilla."
Yeah. There was a few things going on in this that I groaned audibly at. And this also has a slow version, a piano version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow playing during it.
Oh my god.
My god.
The whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, what is this movie? Because it looks like a huge departure from its precursor.
Yeah. It doesn't, yeah. I feel like, I think that they're trying to do like a course correction a little bit, because I think the first Godzilla didn't get received really well, but I like it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is them like trying to be like, okay, we're going to incorporate the first Godzilla, but then make it way campier, because people were talking about how it didn't have all of that like monster bot battle royale shit in it.
Right. And so they like I wouldn't even say double down, like triple down
Yeah.
or more.
It's got
Having-
Mothra, Rodan, and
I think they say
King
like,
Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah, yeah.
they've got like a ton of beasts in it. They're making it, I feel like more like the Japanese early versions where they like have Godzilla as an ally and like use them to fight the battles, kind of like the Megazord.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and stuff like
This
that.
totally struck me as like Power Rangers, where they're just like, unleash Godzilla.
Yeah.
I was expecting someone to like play a dagger to get him to come out of the fucking...
But it looks way more campy and bizarre than I ever thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I knew they wanted to have him fight more monsters. I'm like, okay, I'm all in for that. But then it also has to almost meet the campiness that Kong Skull Island made.
And that was
they're
super campy.
And they're gonna cross over eventually, so they're gotta meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think this is it.
yeah.
So I don't know if
I kept hearing rumors that Charles Dance is supposed to play the older version of Tom Hiddleston's character in this.
Who's?
Charles Dance, he's
The Lannister guy.
yeah, Lannister. You don't know who Lannister guy 'cause he's like a do you ever see Last Action Hero?
Forever ago.
He was the villain in Last Action Hero. He's in this.
That doesn't help me at all.
Okay, well, anyways, he's in this. I heard rumors that Charles Dance is supposed to play the older Tom Hiddleston in this.
Okay. All right.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm still looking forward to it because I do love a good smash 'em up, giant monster type thing.
Yeah. This one, it looks, unless it's like way critically received or we're like maybe we have an open week for something, I might skip this one.
All right.
Just gauging by the trailer alone, it looks like something I'd sit there and be like, what am I doing here? So, I don't know.
Well, we'll discuss it.
We'll discuss it. Neil, are you excited about Godzilla?
Yeah, I think I am. I like Skull Island actually quite a bit for some reason, and I like that first Godzilla too. So I'm pretty excited to see how this goes.
Yeah. Well, then fuck you, Troy. Me and Neil do Godzilla.
Yeah, we'll do that episode.
Yeah, you shit.
Troy, you shitbag.
Yeah, Midwest.
Ope.
That's Miss.
Yeah, Ope.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Stepped on her toes there a little bit.
Shut the fuck up, Ope. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
But that's all the trailers I got.
Well, that's all the trailers you got, Troy. Then we got the review turn random movie 6
Oh my god.
in the works. We got Lita Battle Angel and Monsters Inc. already in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And this last week we had King Kong versus $1 Million Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see who won, Troy?
I didn't.
Did you see who won, Neil?
I didn't see who won, no, but I know what I voted for.
Well, it was like an astounding win for King Kong.
Yes.
It beat the piss out of $1 Million Baby. I think I might have been the only one that voted for it. Because it like won by like 80%.
I did vote for King Kong.
So King Kong advancing. Neil is throwing his microphone around.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm that excited.
He's that excited. So King Kong joining the group of Monsters Inc. and Alita Battle Angel. So
what a group.
But we got 2 more movies to add to it
I'm ready.
this week.
My body is ready.
I forgot to fucking write down the taglines again, but I got to look it up. But we got we have a film from 1986 that is a Marvel film,
What?
and a film from 1995 that stars a prominent Disney character.
Okay.
The film from 1986. I got to look up the tagline because I'm a fucking idiot.
I think I already might know what it is.
I'm pretty sure you probably know what it is too.
I'm
The the tagline. Oh well, fuck it. You might as well say because the tagline's gonna give it away.
I can't. I'm picking. Is it the Punisher movie?
It is not.
Is it the Captain America movie?
No.
Which one is it?
The tagline is "You will believe that a duck can talk."
Oh, fuck.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck
Okay. All right.
added to the tournament. Of course, everyone's looking forward to that.
Of course.
Possibly.
That
And
movie's got different things happening in it.
It does. It is
Sure does.
insane.
It's got full-on duck tits in it.
It does.
Duck condom.
And
That's not even in a wrapper. It's just
He's probably got like hair and shit all over it.
oh my god, this tagline is either gonna. If I say the entire tagline, it's gonna completely give it away.
just say blank on like.
All right. Well, even that's not gonna. It's gonna be so vague. It's blank and blank in their first full-length animated feature.
Blank and blank in their first animated feature from 95.
From 95, featuring a prominent Disney character.
Blank and blank from 95. I have no clue.
I grew up with this movie too. This is one of my favorites growing up.
Neil, do you have any idea?
All I had was Timon and Pumbaa, but
I
that's
was
not
also
right.
gonna say that, and that's not right. I don't know. I have no idea.
A Goofy movie.
A good
Oh.
movie. Okay.
Dude, I loved this movie growing up.
I think we also watched it a decent amount. I don't think
Yeah.
it was a mainstay at our house, though.
No, definitely
Goofy's
rented
taking-
it a few times.
Goofy's
so.
taking Max to the Grand Canyon and he's trying to go to that concert.
I know. It's got the Pauly Shore character in it.
Yeah. Leaning Tower of Cheese.
That's the only thing I remember of that whole movie.
Ew.
I know.
So there you have it.
And I think Pauly Shore plays an actual weasel in it. I'm not sure.
The Wizzo?
No, that's odd.
So there you have it. Howard the Duck versus a Goofy movie.
What is this tournament this time?
I remember, remember when I made this matchup up, I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one where Troy's like, what are you doing?
What are we doing here? I liked what you were doing before because I noticed that everyone was coming out in like either like 99 or 2000.
Yeah.
Because I know like all of our past winners have been like
Yeah.
early movies.
Yeah.
So you're trying to skew more towards modern ones?
Yeah, well, yeah. And I don't want to, like, completely skew towards them. So I want to throw some wild cards in there.
Yeah.
Some ones that I know people probably won't pick.
Yeah. Why don't we just eliminate both of these right now?
Never know, there might be some goofy movie lovers out there.
You watch it. Now that you say that, one of these is going to the end.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, you always fucking jinx us, Troy, so probably one of us is going to fucking
yeah,
make
I
it.
always jinx this. I always do this.
Yeah, you do.
All right. I'll take the shit. I'll eat the shit. I
So
don't
Howard the Duck versus a Goofy movie. Get your votes in there, because I'm pretty sure it's going to make a really big fucking difference in this one.
Man, this tourney's gonna be this one for sure is gonna be a splash. People turn out in groves to friggin' vote on this one.
Also, keep your eyes peeled for our review of Platoon coming up.
Yes, as soon as our first blockbuster season
Jesus.
chills the F out,
Christ.
we'll get into Platoon.
Yeah, Platoon.
Well, is that it?
That will do it.
That's all the nitty gritty before we get into the
Nitty-gritty to the-
nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
So we get in this box of scraps.
Let's dive in this box of scraps.
Well, then that'll bring us to Iron Man, the first stop in the Marvel Cinematic Universe train
Yeah.
to Endgame.
Before our last stop next week.
That's right. Coming to theaters May 2nd, 2008, with a budget of $140 million. Opening weekend made $102.1 million.
Ooh.
Domestically, it made $318.6 million. Worldwide, $585.1 million. Rotten Tomatoes currently has this at 93%.
Ooh.
IMDb at a 7.9 out of 10, and Metacritic at a 79%.
Very high marks all around.
That's right. That's right. Still regarded as one of everyone's favorites, I still think.
Yeah. I know. Even when people bring up like what they think their favorite Marvel movie is, like you bring up Iron Man, like, oh shit, I haven't watched it forever, but that might be close.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Oh, Troy.
Oh.
I might be just throwing you off.
Oh,
You don't even know.
No.
I would say between Iron Man 1 and 2, which we're doing, the gamut could be both top and bottom. We'll see.
The Marvel, the MCU might be in the middle of an Iron Man sandwich.
Check out Iron Man 2 coming up Monday.
Yeah.
So just a
keep
little
your
tease
eyes
for that.
peeled for that shit.
Or is it?
Oh, we'll see.
So JT, no, Neil, what happened in Iron Man?
Yeah.
You got it. Well, Iron Man begins with Tony Stark, Mr. Weapons Builder Extraordinaire, billionaire philanthropist, smart guy. He is a seller of big weapons. He goes off to a country to show off a new weapon. It all goes horribly awry for him. He ends up getting captured and becomes the titular Iron Man. And more things are in his way. Corporate, breathing down his neck. You know, that type of rigmarole. What will happen in Iron Man? Let's find out. Let's dive into it.
Very good, Neil. Very good.
Thanks. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Here are my top 5 reasons Iron Man is the first movie in the MCU.
Why? Because it's number 1.
So this movie came out actually through Paramount Pictures.
Yeah.
A deal that Marvel had with Paramount before Disney scooped them up.
Yeah. How many of the MCU movies are Paramount? I think even Avengers is Paramount, isn't it?
Avengers, I think, is the first Disney one. Actually have it right over here. Let me check.
I thought I saw like a Paramount thing for Avengers.
I don't think Avengers is Paramount, just from memory, but I'm not sure.
I know they.
Avengers is.
Troy is now hunching over his DVD collection.
His limited physical media collection.
His limited physical media
I
collection.
wanted to say that Avengers was like the first one that wasn't Paramount, but let me look it up.
Maybe.
Because I know this one is, Iron Man 2 is, the Hulk is brought to you by Universal,
Yeah.
because they still own the rights to that, I think still.
Yeah, because they can't make a Hulk movie unless it's prominently.
They can't make a solo Hulk
Yeah, they can make a
movie.
solo Hulk movie.
Let me see. Avengers film. Where's the wiki on this thing? Huh?
Break out the wiki, hey?
Huh?
Oh, lost the wiki there.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, excuse me, pardon me.
let me just squeeze past you.
Produced by... Oh, those are just names. Anyway, you guys can fill time if you want.
Nah, we'll just sit here.
Now
and
we'll
wait.
just wait.
Alright, I get it.
Waiting for Troy to look up facts. Waiting for Troy to look up facts. Blues, clues.
Here we go. Avengers Wiki. Oh, production company Marvel Studios,
Okay.
Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures.
Say I don't know. I remember when we did Avengers, I thought I saw some sort of insignia at the beginning, but maybe I'm mistaken. I'm full of shit.
So yeah, and I don't even know. I think Thor might even still be a Paramount picture. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's all super interesting, isn't it?
But wasn't that worth the time?
But I wanted to bring that up for a reason, because when going in and watching this again, I think for the first time in like a couple of years, I feel like there's a different feeling between this movie and what we're getting now.
Yeah.
It's just has a different kind of vibe to it that was kind of refreshing to watch.
Yeah, well, it was an origin where it didn't feel like anything else was connected to it, which I don't know. Especially when we went back and saw Shazam a few weeks ago, like that felt refreshing because it felt like even though they referenced a bunch of things from DC, like this was its own story you can just follow through.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's so much shit nowadays that it depends on things that have come before it that it's so refreshing to experience something where it's like this is the first of a story.
Yeah, before it's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really,
Right.
really good. Neil, you got anything to add to that kind of thing? What did you think of the vibe of this movie?
Yeah, kind of along those lines. That's like right on because like it feels like so isolated. Because then like when you start getting like knee deep into these, you're always thinking of, was that a callback to something or where is this headed? Whereas this was such a standalone thing, and yeah, even in watching this recently, I would agree that it does feel just a little bit different, but it's just because it's set the mold, I guess. Like. You know that nothing came before this that was based in this, cinematic universe whatsoever. So I think that's kind of where it gets its gravitas, I guess, in that respect.
I mean, it does do like fun nods to things that could show up later.
Yeah.
Even to the point where Rhodey's like, "Next time, baby," and I just want to be like, "Ooh."
Yeah, shut up, Terrence Howard.
Sorry.
But in all honesty, I like Terrence Howard in this quite a bit.
Me too.
Same.
I might like him more than Don Cheadle.
He brings, like, I can see why him and Tony would be friends more
Yeah.
than him and Don Cheadle would be.
Yeah, like Terrence Howard strikes me as like that guy that's always defending his friend even though he knows he's a fuck up.
Yeah.
Whereas Don Cheadle, like, especially like in Iron Man 2 that we're going to talk about on Monday, Don Cheadle just seems like he's constantly fucking pissed at Tony.
Yeah. I mean, I think later on, and maybe like Age of Ultron, does he show up in Age of Ultron? Don Cheadle? In like even the party scene?
Yeah, in the
He's
party
more
scene.
loosey-goosey then.
Yeah.
And like I think later installments he's more like
Yeah.
chummy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was almost like a drastic departure between the two, I think.
Yeah. Well, like, I think, like, I love Terrence Howard in this because, like, when he shows up to be pissed at him, and then he slowly gets charmed by Tony as they go along, where he's like, oh, God damn it, Tony. All right.
Even the point where he's like pissed that he shows up late to his plane and then ends up getting drunk with him on the plane.
I know, but I love how Terrence Howard plays it in this, because he legit strikes you as that guy where it's like, why do you put up with this shit? And then, like, about 5 or 10 minutes in, you're like, oh, that's why you do, because you actually do genuinely like the guy.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked to see Terrence Howard's take through like all of these movies. Like I get why he didn't do it,
Yeah.
but like I totally would have wanted to see like what his take was, because I think he's not as like, I don't want to say like I don't know, he's so much different than like Tony Stark is. And, like, whereas Don Cheadle's closer to what Tony Stark is. Like, bolder, I guess. I don't know how to say it necessarily. But I think I would have liked to see how he plays out through, like, the rest of them if he had gone through with them. I think he would have been... I think he would have been really good.
Yeah. I agree. Even though Don Cheadle isn't bad at all.
No,
absolutely not. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it'd be something completely different. I can see him like being a more comic relief character than I think Don Cheadle comes off as.
Yeah.
Right.
Cheadle comes off as stoic, but I don't like find his stuff as always the funniest. I don't know. Anyway, that's a weird rant we just went off on. Regardless, I do like Terrence Howard. That's what we're trying to get at here. And what I also really appreciate about this movie too is that it felt way more grounded in reality.
Yeah.
And I know why they did that, in order to get like the regular populace into like, I don't believe a man could just make a suit and zip around the skies. Mm-hmm. Boo! It made it like really feel like, yeah, you see him piece together his suit the whole time. Like, you see like the strife going on in Afghanistan, which in 2008 is still a big thing.
Yeah, right.
And like all of that, I felt like really played really close to home, played it really close to the chest, that I could easily fall back into this movie and be like, wow, yeah, I really see why this got off the ground.
And I think what really gave this origin story like good legs is that what was cool about his origin story is that you can see him build, modify, because like it's all trial and error for him. Whereas like everybody else in the cinematic universe has superpowers, where it's like there's no really getting used to it. You just like, oh, I've got superpowers now, or I've always had superpowers. Whereas like this was like a lot of this movie is built around him just changing his suit, which is really cool.
But not only changing his suit, but he also like builds and modifies his own personality. Like he starts off as a very arrogant prick.
Yeah.
And, like, you see him change throughout the movie where he, like, becomes this, not warmonger, but, like, he builds weapons, he knows what he's about, he makes $1 billion, has a whiskey on the battlefield after showing a missile demonstration. By the end of the movie, he's like I wouldn't say a humanitarian, but
he's
like,
a cheeseburger-eating humanitarian is what he is.
He's on more of that, like, a do-gooder path where before you wouldn't even have seen it coming.
The one thing I like the most, or I love the most about Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is that you can clearly see a line that he follows to why he does what he does.
Yeah.
And it starts here where like he does have this change of heart, but I think like as you follow him through the MCU movies, it's still done in a mildly selfish way where it's like he feels bad.
Yeah.
That this happened. And it's never really, especially like in Civil War, like I'll talk more about it on Monday because I think Iron Man 2 does a really good job of showing like how Tony Stark's brain works. But like it starts in this where he was so fine with making weapons for so long, and then he gets a little taste of what his hard work is doing, and then he feels bad. And then he has, like, a change of heart.
Yeah.
But it's not like a change of heart as in, I'm going to be heroic. It's a change of heart as in, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. That follows suit in almost every movie.
Yeah, because it's like, you kind of imagine, like, what if he were to wake up in that cave and it wasn't his weapons? Would he still become Iron Man?
Yeah, probably not. He'd probably build a bigger missile to shove up their ass.
Yeah. He'd probably like, yeah, I'm gonna fight the bad guys with even bigger missiles that I'm gonna make. But no, it's just, I think a lot of Tony Stark's motivations throughout all of the MCU is based on him feeling bad or him feeling like he fucked up and trying to correct, and then sometimes he overcorrects or to a point where it's almost a detriment. But that's why I love the character of Tony Stark is that he's not a full-fledged hero that is fighting the good fight. He's doing it because he feels bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shoot, I had a point before you went on your rant. Neil, you got anything?
A ton. Where are we at?
Anywhere you want to jump in.
Yeah, we're just kind of jumping around.
I guess on kind of, like to what Joel's point was, which I just completely forgot. Oh my god, derailed city up in here.
I remember what I was going to say.
Yeah, go for it.
I also like the fact that it, while being a superhero movie, it has, even not early on in their, I mean, before they even knew this was going to be a thing, they have a lot going on in this movie, but like in a good way, where they have like, kind of like a corporate kind of system going on where he's kind of getting screwed over by his company. He's having a change of heart. It's got like the whole war in the desert thing still happening. It's got a lot of things going on that I think they balance really well. And that was also another strong point. Because in subsequent movies coming after this, and not even just in the Iron Man franchise, I feel like it's strictly the hero's journey to become the hero. Like in the first movies. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like, just take like a Doctor Strange, for instance. Like, he was a dick doctor. He gets hurt, now he wants to be a superhero. But he got really nothing else going on the side, really. Besides, like, maybe a side subplot of another character. Mm-hmm. But, like, all of this is very Tony Stark-centric. Like, he's trying to, like, keep his business together because his business partner wants to overthrow and do something completely different when he topples the whole company by saying, like, we're stopping weapons production. He's got that going on with Obadiah Stane. He's got the 10 Rings thing going on that he's trying to fight, like, personally himself after all that thing's going on. He's got a relationship with Pepper that's blossoming in this movie. A lot of things starting.
Him actually owning this suit is garnering the attention of the military.
Yeah. And just him also having that trial and error period, which we brought up earlier, where you get to see him piece together like the actual Iron Man suit and making it better as he goes, and it changes throughout the film. Like, there's a lot in the 2 hours of this movie that I don't think they cram any of that kind of stuff in future movies.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed the balance that like Favreau was able to do in this.
Yeah, and this movie almost kind of flies by because of that, where like you would feel like watching him do these trial and error things with his suits would be kind of a drag, but you're so invested in him wanting to get better where you're like, oh shit, yeah, figure this out. Mm-hmm. Keep going. Yeah. Yes, figure this out. Like, and like it's not done in a way like in our Monday review where it feels like it's like they do something in that where it's like, how'd you get here? But like in this one, like you can kind of see how he pieces together where it's like, well, this didn't work, so I'll do this. And then you're kind of following him along on his process of actually trying to build like the perfect Iron Man suit for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Neil, do you have anything to add to that before I jump in?
No, go for it.
I also really liked Jeff Bridges in this as Obadiah Stane a lot.
Yeah.
I thought he was a very menacing villain, even to the point where he gets like comically ridiculous in the Ironmonger suit. I still thought it was very well done.
His Ironmonger? I feel like his Ironmonger suit came with a bunch of military one-liners.
Yeah.
Like the minute he got in that suit, he just started railing off a bunch of "thank you for your service."
Oh yeah. That I thought was a little ham-fisted.
Right.
But I really thought just as Obadiah, he came off as like an imposing, powerful figure. Like that scene where they're in the that Pepper's trying to like hack into his computer to get the files, and he walks in. Like I totally forgot about that scene, and I was like, oh shit,
yeah,
what's she gonna do?
Yeah.
And like
It's
I was
pretty
like,
tense.
I thought it was still tense after all these years.
yeah.
Wow. Just wanted to do that crossword.
Like the puzzles.
The thing that made me laugh, I don't know why this made me laugh so hard, but I was losing my shit when Tony's in the desert and then Obadiah video calls him and he's just laying in bed shirtless. Like, if you're laying in bed shirtless, why are you making it a video call? Just fucking call him. But he's like, I want to show off my tits to Tony.
I really got in shape for this movie. I need to show this shit off.
Yeah.
Hey, check out my chest, Tony. You think I've got my pecs coming in? He's just laying in bed. Like, I know it's early. Just wanted to get a heads up. Or it's like, why are you naked?
Yeah.
In bed.
And we joked about the AC/DC soundtrack, but I really think it works for this movie specifically.
Oh, yeah.
They have it again in Iron Man 2, but like I really dug it. Like when it opens up right in the beginning where it's just like Afghanistan and then it hits back in black.
Yeah, and he's just shooting the shit with like a bunch of soldiers and stuff. I think that's a really cool opening where like you're not being exposed to Tony Stark the dick, because he can be dickish in this in times.
Right.
But you're being exposed to him as like how a normal person would come across him on the street, where it's like I get the feeling that you have like the aura of like a rich dickhead who thinks he's better than everybody, but then like he has a way of talking to you where he feels like he's coming down to your level, where you're like, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah, he's still super charming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also like that it just shits the bed like immediately.
Yep.
Like it doesn't give you any time.
Yeah, like all the people he talks to that he gets close to are immediately killed.
Yeah, and I even thought like they run outside and then you automatically just see bullet holes popped into the side of the Jeep. And you're like, holy shit! Like you don't see like blood splatter or anything like that.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, is there any like Marvel movie after that has been like that kind of had like that kind of realistic violence in it? I couldn't think of one off the top of my head. I mean,
Captain America, but that's
even Captain America was kind of over the top though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't really, because like there's like that scene where he's like on the ship in Winter Soldier, where he's
that might be the closest.
Yeah, but even then it's
this
still
is Paramount, baby. This is Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount pulls no punches.
But yeah, because that's like the kind of the realism that I'm talking about. They get more fantastic as they go along, which I also like because it's this fantastic universe or whatever. But that's the one thing in this that I was really enjoying was the grounded nature of it all.
Yeah, like that first scene, it felt like kind of like an actual war zone where you're like, oh shit, he's fucked.
yeah.
They even have the scene where like he's being like bowed down in front of a video camera while they're like saying shit where you're like, ugh, this is really close to, like those like beheading videos where you're like, oh god,
like some weird 4chan shit.
Yeah.
That all is like incredible though. Like all of that stuff where he's captured is some of like I think some of the best stuff of the movie. Yeah. Like before where he doesn't even have the suit. It's just like him bonding with Yinsen, which is just incredible.
Yeah. Also, I know you guys are a big fan of this, but I have a crackpot JT idea for possible sequels based off of this.
Okay.
Like I thought a cool way to go from this Iron Man is if Yinsen ends up being the Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Okay. He was on the inside the whole time?
Yeah. Well, not even on the inside the whole time. It's just that, like, so imagine if Iron Man is so obsessed with the outside appearance that Yinsen is the one, or the Mandarin is the one that is developing the technology that involves the human body. And that's how Obadiah gets the thing that like paralyzes people. Like he's so he
so
resents
that you wanted to throw in that one weird off gadget.
No, yeah. It's such a weird add to this where it's like, how does Tony Stark not know that this is being made at his own fucking company? But like,
well, he didn't know his company was selling weapons to terrorists.
Very true. But like, I always thought like the idea of like the Mandarin being like the magic of the East meets the like the mechanical of the West, where it's like if Yinsen as the Mandarin is like both reveres and kind of has disdain for Tony Stark, where he's so smart but yet he wastes it on these ideas of showing off, where it's like it's all about explosions and looking cool and having these outside suits that protect yourself, whereas there's so much you can do by just manipulating the human body with technology. So like as he's helping Tony Stark, he is also developing his own technology to mess with the human anatomy, which is the magic of the East meets the mechanical West.
The mechanical West.
Wild West.
Wild West. Wiki Wild.
Gemini Man.
Oh no.
I would have just I'm gonna tag onto that and do like another fun offshoot. I don't hate that Yinsen idea being the actual Mandarin.
Yeah.
Even though Guy Pearce is obviously the Mandarin.
Of course. But imagine like a really cool idea where it's like when they introduce the Mandarin, like Iron Man 3, like they replay that whole scene where Yinsen's like firing the machine gun, like screaming like he's a maniac, and then he runs into those guys with machine guns, and then like all of a sudden you see like those two earbuds light up in his ears, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? They all go paralyzed and down, and then he just like takes something to like spread on himself to look like he got shot and lays on that rice sack or something, where it's like, oh fuck, this was all a setup. And the fact that Tony Stark kind of bases his whole idea that what he did was wrong around the idea that Yinsen sacrificed himself for him, and then coming to the realization that it was all bullshit, it might totally make him question his whole idea of being Iron Man.
I don't hate that idea. I don't think it'll ever happen, but
Let's see where they fit it in Endgame. We'll see where they fit it in.
Yeah. I also thought it'd be a cool idea too. I thought about this even before. Well, it might have been like after I think Thor: The Dark World came out. Is that because the Mandarin has like the 10 powerful rings or whatever?
Yeah.
It was kind of a shame that like maybe they didn't have the Reality Stone for like a Mandarin, because the Reality Stone can do pretty much whatever.
Yeah.
And so the 10 magic rings all do different things, but it would be fun if like one of them was a Reality Stone.
Oh, yeah.
And in the Mandarin's head, each ring does a different thing.
But it's just the one
but
ring.
it's just the one ring doing everything. And so that'd
Wow.
be kind of a cool idea, and that way you can incorporate it like that. But they did something completely different.
This is the geek segment of our show.
Yeah. I mean, what do we got? Everyone's seen Iron Man. Just go on tangents at this point.
Yeah, let's do it. Neil, what's your tangent?
What's my tangent?
Yeah, you're expected
How
to have
about-
one now.
Yeah, okay, well, it's gonna be the end of Endgame. Thanos takes his mask off. It's Jensen. There we go.
Oh my God, he was.
Huge reveal.
He's like, I've seen you in Bern, Switzerland, and I've seen you in that cave, and now I see you here at the end of days. I'm Jensen.
I have heard. I heard like a brief review of Endgame, and they said that they do reference characters, or they have appearances by characters you thought you'd never see before.
Really?
Maybe one might be Jensen.
Never
He's
know.
under that Thanos mask.
He's under the Thanos mask.
That's right. Ant-Man tries to go up Thanos' butt. All he sees is the Jensen in there.
He's working this giant Thanos machine. Like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah. Instead, Tony Stark built an Iron Man suit, and Jensen built a Thanos suit.
Yeah. Like, just Ant-Man goes up Jensen's butt, and he's like, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Oh man, but yeah, Iron Man was a great time. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. It does have a blue beam in the sky. I think this movie might have started that.
Yeah, that threw me off. Like, why does it have to be a blue beam in the sky?
I think everyone thought Avengers set that off, but this happened 4 years before that.
Yeah,
Big blue beam. There it was. It was right in front of our faces the whole time.
Yeah. And I love how, like, he makes himself vulnerable just by, like, taking his suit off, thinking that everything was done. And just, like, grabs him, like, oh, fuck. Why'd I take my glove off?
Yeah, he, like, takes it off and immediately tries to shoot him with that hand, too. I'm like, you just did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is anyone else surprised in that when, like, Ironmonger shoots that machine gun at him and he puts up that shield in front of his exposed face that none of the bullets hit him in the face?
Well, his what his aiming capabilities are off, Neil.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
saw
right.
he only shot like 12 missiles at him and missed every time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Such
But
a-
no, I do like Iron Man a lot. And, like, going back to the whole, like, Tony Stark feeling bad and then course correcting, like, I feel like this movie does try to do a decent job of trying to portray that, like because his company is a weapons manufacturing company, and he's just totally rerouting their entire business without even talking to anybody. Like, he does it publicly.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of like a thing that points out that it becomes a major problem, where it's like, yeah, if you want to curtail from weapons, do it, but, like, don't like, get in front of public and be like, I'm not making weapons anymore, guys, because then it's like, well, then all these people that are working for you are fucked because your stock's down and everyone has no faith in your company from now on. Like, I think that's the thing that addresses how Tony Stark is so, like, follows his conscience almost to a detriment sometimes, where it's like he can't fight this, where it's like, I gotta make sure people know that I'm a good guy. I can't just, like, let it curtail to a point where it's like, now we're a clean business. It's like, nope, we're clean now. Like, well, then you're fucked, because all you do is make weapons.
Yeah. It's a shame that this movie didn't have, like, the foresight to see how big it was gonna get. Because they, like, introduced Coulson in this.
Yeah.
As, like, well, I'm in the part of the strategic blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, just call a S.H.I.E.L.D. And then, like, a couple years later, they do, like, Peggy Carter, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it was around in, like, the 50s.
And then even in Captain Marvel, they do, where it's like, we're S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, we're definitely S.H.I.E.L.D. around in the 90s. For sure we are. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. I would like to see, like, the progression. If somebody on YouTube make a video of this, of, like, the progression of S.H.I.E.L.D. and how it ebbs and flows through the years.
Yeah.
Because that would be interesting. Because in Peggy Carter, it seemed like kind of like a spy organization. And then at some point it needed to get picked up by the government, you would think, right?
Yeah.
And then Howard Stark's a part of it.
And in
And then
Captain
in the
Marvel,
90s, it seems like a really small operation.
yeah, in the 90s, they seem like they turned to a strictly paranormal activity. Like they seem like a bigger budget X-Files.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Where
just
they're
gonna
like,
say that.
Yeah.
where they're like, oh, aliens. Well, we need that's our strict business. But then why are you talking to a guy that has like a big mechanical suit? Like,
Yeah.
what's that going to help
Right.
you in space?
Right. In 10 years, you're going to just be talking about this guy about some weird corporate espionage type stuff about an iron suit.
Oh, by the way, aliens exist. What?
Yeah, P.S. It's not his first rodeo because 10 years ago he fought an alien.
Yeah. You're the craziest thing I've seen. By the way, my eye's gone because of an alien cat.
Yeah. Also, a
Sheesh.
cat ate a cosmic cube and barfed it all over my table.
Yeah, but only if you stayed long enough to see that.
Oh, my.
Shit.
Neil, did you see Captain Marvel? Did you end up seeing that one?
I did.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, yes, it is good. It's just not like my favorite.
Yeah.
Same.
So I don't know. You got anything else to say about Iron Man? Like, all in all, it's just pretty good. I think I hit most of my points.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think, sadly, I think I have more to say about Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2's got a lot of talking points. In.
It's gotta go.
It's yeah, I agree. Like this one is just like it's so solid. Like
Yeah.
there's very few issues with it. And really you can kind of knowing where the universe is now, like it doesn't matter at this point what happened in this one, but like it's so awesome just to see like this is what started it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the good thing about this movie is its simplicity, where you're literally watching a guy get captured, and then he watching all the trial and error of his suits. But okay, one thing that I do have a problem with in this is that, like, so the thing in his chest is supposed to power a magnet to keep shrapnel out of his heart.
Yeah.
But then, like, halfway through the movie, they just kind of insinuate that it just powers his heart.
I always thought that it was weird too because anytime they take it out, he's just like looking dead.
He's like, oh, hurry, put it in. Where it's like, it's just keeping shrapnel out of your heart, and then even if it does keep shrapnel out of your heart, it's not gonna get into your heart for like another like couple hours. But then every time they take it out, it's like, oh my god, my heart stopped.
Yeah, like that
like,
one
what the
time where
fuck is
Obadiah
happening?
takes it out of him, and he goes like ghastly white.
It's like,
Like what the hell?
yeah, like the movie starts out with like, this is just a magnet to keep shrapnel out of your heart, and then it slowly turns into, this powers your heart.
Yeah, it almost like powers him just in general. Like that doesn't seem like it should work.
This is a motor for me in my chest.
Yeah, which is also weird too, because like it looks like just a tin can in his chest.
Yeah, it goes super deep too. Like it
And,
looks
like-
like it doesn't even have a heart.
And like, what's it connected to? It's connected to electromagnet sometime buried in the bottom of that can, right?
Yeah,
And it needs like that big of a power source. Why can't he just build a strong magnet to yank the things right out of there right away?
yeah.
Come on.
I don't know.
Don't you get how it works? Of course not.
I mean,
You're a fool.
and then, well, we not reviewing it then, but in Iron Man 3 gets like the hole covered up,
Yeah.
right? And he just chucks that thing into the ocean, and they take out
Well,
all the
they-
shrapnel.
Well, they have like a thing where it's like, we have the operation to take it out. Then why aren't you doing it? And then he's like, oh, nah, I don't care. Really, just do it.
Nah, I'll just live in danger with
Nah,
things
yeah.
in my heart.
Yeah,
That sounds like a good move. I'm a smart man.
I don't know.
Oh, for being its first little outing too. I mean, I just did have like a pretty decent budget for like a pretty like unknown property at the time.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was kind of taken back when he said it was like, what,
140 million.
Jeez, that's a lot for for something that not a lot of people are familiar with. That's a pretty big budget.
Because before then, Iron Man was like a C-list character.
Yeah.
That's been reported on like a billion times, but it's just still surprising. Like, oh, they're gonna throw $140 million at this.
Well, Spider-Man came out before this. How much did they put into Spider-Man?
Probably quite a bit. But Spider-Man's like a cash cow.
True.
Where Iron Man was like, who is Iron Man?
Yeah.
I am Iron Man.
Nice. And
I also love
and they gave it to Jon Favreau. Like, what did he direct before this that was like, we're going to give this to Jon Favreau?
Have you seen Swingers? Come on.
Oh, right.
Beautiful babies.
I hate Swingers. I don't like that movie. Everyone references that as being like a really influential movie, and I can't get into it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think it's dumb. I think
it's probably because of
movie.
Elf.
Oh yeah, Elf killed, so they gave him Iron Man. But I think it was also a passion project of his too. And he wanted Downey Jr., and so he got him, and then it came what it is.
This is Robert Downey Jr.'s leap back into the limelight.
Yeah, I think right before this, he might have been in like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was like the one thing that he did where it's like, oh, he's back.
I'm gonna try acting again and not so much drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was going to go on and say, like, I really thought the CG in this held up too. There's a few points where I'm like, yeah, that's a little dated. It's not as like doesn't look like Thanos now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's just like perfect.
Yeah.
But I still think even like the Iron Man suits hold up, and I think that's just a strength that like rendering metal came by very quickly, and it's easy for that to make look nice. Yeah. Whereas like an organic figure is a little bit harder to do. But they didn't have to do a lot of that. Good for them. But I thought the Iron Man suit looked really great. Oh, and another strength I wanted to say is that I also like in the early movies here, especially this one, where it takes a lot for him to put the Iron Man suit on.
Yeah.
Like, they're piecing it together on him in chunks.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in Infinity War, it's just like nanotech.
It's nanobots.
It's not... I don't find that as impressive as, like, him putting on this clunky, chunky armor, which actually looks like it could fit on a person.
Yeah. Like, I love the whole scene where it's like the Iron Man suit's getting taken off him while Pepper Potts walks in on him, where it's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
this isn't the weirdest thing you've seen.
Yeah. But, like, you can see it on his face where it's like, this takes for fucking ever to get this fucking suit off me.
Yeah. And I know that's why they ended up changing it, even to the point where, like, in, Civil War, where he's got an Iron Man suit built into, like, a helicopter.
Yeah.
And it just builds around, like, his thumb or some shit like that. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
All that stuff I feel like is more far-fetched.
Yeah.
And it just isn't... It feels like it should be more interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But even... I don't hate shit like that, though, where like, I thought it was cool, like, in Avengers, when he's, like, walking around that halo, and the halo's just, like, taking pieces of the Iron Man suit off him as he's walking down that walkway into, like, his penthouse in the... in that tower.
Yeah.
Right.
Like shit like that's kind of it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, that's the stuff that I find more unbelievable than his suit. That he has stuff around his house that takes his suit off. Like, I don't know, have you thought about that? Like, he had to build those too.
Like he builds his houses just to take his suit off for him.
Right. In different spots. You know? Like just an arm comes out to take off one leg piece, you know? Like, come on.
And you gotta imagine, like, he didn't build that himself. Like, could he probably do it? Yeah. But did he really? Did he just hire, like, a whole industrial engineer crew to come in and, like, make this halo of things, just take off my Iron Man suit for me. I drew up the specs, here you go. And it's just like, you think about it too hard and it just breaks the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think that might have hit all my points. Otherwise, I think it's pretty well done. I think the weakest point in acting in this may be Pepper Potts. But even then, I think she's charming.
She's not bad, though. Like, I do like how she calls Tony out on his bullshit.
Yeah, but she does it better, I think, in more movies going forward.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
This one, it seems like she's, like, just literally his assistant. And then the next outing, she's, like, feels like his equal almost.
This movie kind of treats women like shit too. Like this is like 2008.
Yeah, but it's like it shows like how misogynistic he is at first, because even like in the very first like casino scene, where like those huge buxom ladies around the table and everything ask him to blow on his dice, and like Jesus, you wouldn't see this in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Even though in Guardians 2 they visit a prostitute planet.
A hooker planet, yeah.
I forgot about that until just now. Anyway. Go on, Joel. I kind of interrupted you.
But no, like, yeah, but like the way they treat that reporter, where it's all they constantly are just bringing up how she just fucked the shit out of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, you made a good spread.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Pepper Potts' line where it's like, I occasionally also do things like take out the trash.
Yeah. By the way, here's the door.
Yeah, I was like, that's a good ass line. I wonder if the movie was written around that line.
Another character who I think develops really well is Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah.
So like even in like 2, 3, and then in Spider-Man: Homecoming, he like just becomes something that is amazing. Like just a smart ass assistant guy who I love.
Yeah. I can't wait to see him in like Far From Home when he just starts like macking on Aunt May.
And I like too that he only has these like little bit roles in all the movies too. Like he doesn't have like huge parts or anything.
Yeah.
He like totally is very giving in all of his stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like anything that he's in, I love watching him.
Like there's a part in Iron Man 2 I'll bring up on Monday where it's like I just love it, where it's like he's spending so much time on this one guy, and meanwhile like Black Widow's just like laying waste to the entire building of people, and he's like, I got this one guy.
Looks, and the guy's just being hung.
Oh God!
Anyway,
Monday,
we're
talking about that on Monday. Good Lord!
Paramount, baby, Paramount.
So anyway, anything else to add into Iron Man before we give our final scores?
I can't think of too much more.
Okay.
All right. Well, the one thing I only have one little bit to add, and it's one of my, for some reason, like one of the funniest moments in this movie to me is when Obadiah Stane offers him that pizza, and then he's like, okay, you don't want the pizza. And then he closes up there. He's like, oh, do you want the pizza? I don't know. For some reason, I found that part extremely funny to me.
Well, also, we didn't even talk about the thing that we've been making fun of before this, where Obadiah Stane is yelling at the scientists that have the arc reactor, where it's like, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
It's my favorite thing of the movie.
It's literally the best line.
It's my favorite thing of the MCU. Are you kidding me?
I like tweeted that from the review of you account, and it's got a lot of traction right away.
I know, he got like almost like 500 views. Like how did people watch this that many times?
It's such a good part of the movie. And best part of Iron Man, prove me wrong. And then nobody could.
Yeah, people replied just to say no. People were Rorschaching on you. They whispered no.
But yeah, Iron Man, super awesome addition and beginning to the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Beginning nonetheless.
So my grade, solid A. I think it's great. It ranks up there with one of the best ones. Do I think it is the best one? No, but it's top tier for sure.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll give it a solid A. I feel like, especially in terms of the MCU, even if this movie was made not having the MCU in mind, I think it's an awesome beginning, because Iron Man, I think, is the best character you can introduce without diving into all of the magic stuff you're going to in later editions. And I feel like thinking back to it, I think the MCU did a really good job of building up to the universe they have now, where it's like you're getting to seemingly normal people that are doing extraordinary things up to just pure magic beings. And they've done it so to
gradually.
a point. Yeah, they've done it so gradually to where it's like, it's not weird that I'm emotionally invested in a talking raccoon.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think that's the real genius of the MCU right now, is that they did find a way to gradually build up to this point where you have all of these super weird characters that are invest in these weird storylines that you're invested in, to the point where you're like, I'm involved. I'm 100% into whatever you're doing.
Neil?
Let's just make it unanimous. A's all around.
Oh.
Solid A's all around.
Oh, someone call AAA because I got a flat tire.
Yeah.
What a AAA title right here with Iron Man. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Write that down. A times 3. I've been trying to remember to write down what we grade them because I always forget. And I did apply for us to be reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah?
And I think I have to remember the grades in order to get like a certain grade in order to go into the aggregate.
There you go. Draw it up.
So I'm writing them down. Anyway, I haven't heard back from Rotten Tomatoes.
Don't give up hope, Troy.
That's right. So AMC shot me down, but will Rotten Tomatoes? Stay tuned.
We'll see.
Neil, is there anything else you've been into this last week besides cramming Iron Man into your schedule?
On very short notice.
Easy.
I've been into replaying some really good AAA games and such. So I just recently jumped into the most recent God of War game for PS4, beat it once, and now I'm up to playing it again. So that is what I've been up to. And also this sweet game called Jurassic Park Evolution, which is like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but with Jurassic Park.
I heard about that, yeah.
It's so fun and addicting. If you're into any of those like tycoon games and dinosaurs, like, do it. You owe it to yourself.
Because like dinosaurs can like break out of their exhibits and just like kill pedestrians, right?
Yeah, and they have stats on saying how many people they've killed, how many times they've broken out, how many times you've had to sedate them and put them back in their cages. It's very frustrating.
Do you just have to like put your head down and be like, I'm sorry, I gotta put you down, Velociraptor?
They're the ones that are the worst.
Really?
Yeah. They're so bad. They're temperamental pieces of shit is what they are. But yeah, I've been just mostly playing those games, and that's really about it. That's what I've been up to.
Right on.
Sweet deal. JT, anything else?
I watched the movie Creed 2.
Yeah?
Based off of the sequel to Creed, of course.
Spin-off to the Rocky franchise, if I'm not mistaken?
Exactly. Like, I was hot and cold on it. I really liked the Drago storyline they do in this, because they insinuate that Ivan Drago, after he lost to Rocky, just totally was shunned by Russia, and his wife divorced him, and he was like, he had to move to the Ukraine and kind of live in exile, but he still had a son, and like he's kind of like living his his whole failure through his son, like training the fuck out of him to become the best boxer ever, so he could have an in to get back into Russia. Where it's like their storyline is super fucking interesting. Like I almost wish this was a fucking Drago movie, because every time they go back to them, it's so fascinating. Where like the son is so like torn on like, should I even try and win back the favor of the people that have abandoned me, and the dad is like, dude, we have nothing left. If we don't get back in with Russia, we're fucked in this gross fucking apartment in Ukraine. We have a shit life from now on if we don't win this fucking world title. And then, but then they get into Adonis Creed's story, and I just don't like him in this. Like, he's such a fucking whiny bitch in this movie. Like, every time he's like, I'm gonna fight Victor Creed, and they're like, you probably shouldn't, because he's like a foot taller than you, and he's super fucking built, and he's gonna beat the fuck out of you. And then he's like, "What? You don't believe in me? Oh, you don't believe me? Whatever, man. I don't. Fuck you, man. I never.
I never.
Yeah, never. Yeah. I'm out of here, whatever. Or it's like the whole fucking the whole like first hour of that is just him coming in contact with someone that tells him that he should at least think about it, and then he's like, "No, fuck you.
I never."
Yeah, you don't believe in me. You don't believe me that I'm gone, and or it's like, man, you just seem like a whiny bitch this whole movie. Like,
do they spend a lot of time with the Dragos?
Not a lot. Where it's like the small scenes they do have them in. It's like I'm invested. Like they even bring back Brigitte Nielsen, who was like the trainer of Ivan Drago in Rocky 4, where it's like, oh shit, like she's back and she's like trying to insinuate that they need to win this to come back because it's like she's Ivan Drago's ex-wife, where it's like I could literally go back to the love of my life if my son wins this match. Where it gets to a point where it's like Ivan Drago in this movie is such a fucking pathetic piece of shit where you almost kind of root for his son to win because it's like, man, he has nothing left to go to if his son loses this. He's gonna live the worst life possible if his son loses this match.
Dang.
And meanwhile, you're going back to Adonis where he's like, I'm the champion. Why does no one respect me? Why does no one think I can do this? It's like, God, he's such a whiny bitch as opposed to like Ivan Drago has actual stakes in this, where you're like, man, this movie is like kind of making me feel like the villain should win.
Freaking Thanos his ass.
Yeah, but I mean it's weird. It's weird, but like Stallone as Rocky in this is awesome as always. Like I love him in this. Like, man, I just wish they would have found a way to make Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Creed a little more charming, because it's like he comes off so whiny throughout the whole movie, where it's like by the time they get to the last fight, you're like, man, I kind of don't want you to win.
Oh God.
So it's weird. But I mean, it's if you're invested in the series altogether, I would definitely check out Creed 2. But yeah, I was kind of like up in the air about who I wanted to win the actual last fight.
Interesting. I don't think I've heard that take yet. But I'm not like super interested in the Rocky franchise.
Yeah.
Like even the first one that people say like, yeah, it's a great movie. I'm like, yeah, it probably is. I'm just not, I can never get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I know you saw the Rocky Balboa, right?
Yeah.
Well, they do introduce Rocky's son in this too.
Okay.
Like he has like a brief cameo in it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's fun to watch.
Okay.
I like the whole Creed series as it goes along. It's just in this I was like, man, shut the fuck up sometimes. And I've also been invested in Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing a little bit of that. I'm liking it so far, but you know what? I'm still kind of partial to 10. I think 10's a little better than this.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you think that edges out 10?
I don't know. I think I feel like NetherRealm's getting really invested in their whole like adding things to characters to make them fit these certain scenarios when you're trying to like fight these, like when you're working these towers and stuff, where it's like some of those towers are fucking really hard, and it's like, well, you need to add these certain like things that you win throughout to your characters to make them better to fight in these towers, where you're like, I just want to fucking play the game, man. I'm not like a super RPG guy where it's like, oh yeah, I need to add like the tooth of Shao Kahn in order to have like 10% better attack to win this tower. I'm like, I just want to wear a really cool vest as Johnny Cage and win this tower.
I actually watched a whole video on the RPG elements on this game, and I was like, really? They added that to a Mortal Kombat game?
Yeah.
I thought it's really in depth, is what I've heard, and it's very, very grindy. So, like,
Yeah.
if you want, like, all the best stuff, you really, really have to work for it. And that just doesn't sound like... Maybe for, like, the really hardcore, like, MK fans, but, man, not for me. Like, I'll just watch the fatalities on YouTube
Yeah.
or something like that.
It's still fun to play. Like, I'll just play it just for the sake of playing, because I love just, like, going in and then, like, oh, yeah, fatality, motherfucker, and then going through, and then... I'm also a big fan of, like, going through, like, the crypt and, like, unlocking other fatalities and other costumes and shit. So I'll keep doing that, but I don't know. I feel like 10 had a really better grasp on, like a really fun Mortal Kombat game where it's, like, they gave you the DLCs that you'd really want, and they gave you just, like, the fatalities you want to see, and it was simple enough where you didn't have to feel like you had to really work to get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm really good at this game.
Yeah, I don't know if I would enjoy all those RPG elements either, because, like, I only can play so much as it is.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, like, I would only be into it for, like, the story mode, and then, like, maybe, like, a classic tower, but, like, do they have, like, just a classic tower?
Yeah, they have classic towers and stuff,
Okay.
but I try and do the living ones because then that's where you can get a lot of the stuff where you can, like, add it to your character, but then it's like, well, then, I don't know, this is not as fun. I'm waiting to get into the story, because I want to get into the story when I have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
And so I do want to see how the story turns out, because I feel like when I played the story on Mortal Kombat 10, it was super convoluted, like Mortal Kombat is.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was still invested enough to see where it goes from there.
Cool. So you're enjoying it so far, though. 11.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I love Mortal Kombat. I
Same.
love just ripping people's guts out.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
I was playing a Shao Kahn earlier today, and his fatality is he takes his hammer and he legit hammers someone's head through their ass.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It is
love it.
fantastic.
I love it.
My favorite one is that I've seen personally, and it's probably one of my favorite ones I've seen ever, is Noob Saibot's in this, where he cuts their guts open, and then he, like, puts his hand in them, and then, like, makes, like, an ectoplasm version of himself in him, and then you can see his hands popping out of his mouth and breaking his head in half, and then he, like, rips out of his body. Like, it's... You have to watch it to kind of understand what I'm saying, but it's the most gruesome, awesome thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen that one on YouTube. It's pretty great. It's like a whole, like, here's Johnny coming out of the freaking
Yeah.
guy's
Yeah.
mouth.
Oh, yeah. Cassie Cage does a Here's Johnny, where she punches out a person's heart, and then she sticks her hands through the sides of the person, then makes the emoji heart with her hands where the heart was.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, dude, I still love Mortal Kombat. Even if it is kind of more convoluted as fuck as opposed to 10, I still fucking love it.
I saw another one of Johnny Cage's where he, like, rips a guy in half and then plays him like a marionette dummy. And, like, sticks their hand up his guts and, like, talks with their head. I'm like, Jesus, that's so fucking gross. That's funny as hell. I haven't really been into much. And continuing my fishing stories on
course.
Red
Good,
Dead
good.
2. I only have a few more fish to get. I didn't get to play a whole lot this last weekend. That's about
Oh,
the only time I
boy.
can dive in.
Look out.
Otherwise, I'm diving in back into Saga of the Swamp Thing, which I brought up earlier.
Yeah.
By Alan Moore. It's pretty good. We'll be reading that for Imperious Rex throughout the summer into the fall. So you get a whole Swamp Thing spring fling going on starting this at the end of the month, at the 30th. We're doing a live stream of the first book. So check us out then if you're into the Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
But that's it. That's all I've been into this last week.
Right on.
So, JT, if people want to get into your thing, where could they do that?
Get on my thing at Bucky Fur on Twitter, also Bucky Fur on Instagram, Bucky Fur on Snapchat. Troy.
Neil.
Neil also is involved here.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Dino Neilman. You can also find my separate podcast, Credits Due, on Twitter at Credits Due Pod, where we talk about one specific actor per season. Check it out.
I fucking love your guys' podcast.
Thank you.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying this Julianne Moore season because there's a lot of ups and downs in this.
Oh my
I
God,
know.
is there ever?
Also, shout out to Ben because I feel like he's the wild card of your podcast.
Most likely, yes. Yeah.
He will have the most outlandish opinions, but then he'll just be like, "That was awesome."
Yeah.
That was
That's
pretty
accurate.
incredible. That was pretty incredible.
Like, there's so many times with this is just a long pause in your podcast, and you'll just be like, "That was awesome, guys."
Yeah. He's a real treat.
I love the I listen just for like Tyler. I feel like is close to my opinion in most things, but then Ben just like chimes in and he's like, "Yeah, guys, that was nuts, right?"
Yeah. He's got some weird takes.
I love it. I love it. I
Um,
feel like you guys, you three complement each other pretty well.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure. So your last episode for the Julianne Moore season was Next, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. That is an awful movie. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, definitely listen. That's a Nick Cage vehicle, so be prepared.
Yeah.
What's the next episode? What are you talking about?
We just recorded our last one on A Single Man, which is a artsy movie with Colin Firth as the main character, really. But that one's actually pretty good. But we get into a real kind of rant on it's the only way you can watch it is through Showtime. So we all had to get a subscription, either free or whatnot, to Showtime, and we really broke its balls there at the beginning of that episode.
Can't wait to hear it.
Also, I want to bring up my girlfriend Molly really loves the movie Evolution.
Oh no! I hope she
yeah.
listened to our episode.
She hasn't, but yeah, I remember listening to you guys' episode Evolution, and I was like, God, I wanted to just bring all this shit up to her. I love her to death, but she has some weird taste in movies sometimes.
I'll say that Head and Shoulders ad of a movie is garbage.
I bring up to Troy all the time that I want to bring her on because she loves the movie Sucker Punch for some reason. So I want to bring her on just so we can be like, why do you like this?
Just to have an intervention. Oh my. Well, you can find me at Short of the Max on Twitter.
We're still in. I forgot we're still in.
You can find us, both me and JT, at Review Pod on Twitter. All of our new episodes uploaded onto Facebook as well. And our hosting site, reviewpod.podbean.com. If you don't want to listen to us there, though, we are on a multitude of other things such as Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And if you listen to us on the latter, why don't you rate and review us there? Because a good review helps other people find the show. Also forgot again to look up the reviews.
Oh my God.
iTunes.
I was at work and I was like, should I message Troy and tell him to make sure he looks at those Apple reviews? But then I was like, maybe he should remember because he kept talking about how he was going to look him up.
I completely forgot about
All right.
it.
Well,
Next time you remember, remind me.
I'll message you so we make it a big thing for our big Endgame review.
Sounds great.
Where we end ourselves with horrible reviews from Apple Podcasts.
Because I don't know if we have very many, but I know my brother Corey was on there, and he was going to give us a review, and he's like, I just ran into another review of your show. It's funny. I'm like, great. God
damn it. Well, pull it up before Monday.
I'll try. So, that's going to be... Oh, if you want to write into the show, you can do so at reviewpod@gmail.com, too. There you go. That's all the plugs. Monday, we got Iron Man 2 coming up.
Iron Man 2 with... Neil is going to be in there as well.
Neil's coming back.
He's coming back.
And that'll be a good time.
We're going to have a special early show.
Mm-hmm.
For early Tuesday, we're going to have Avengers Endgame.
That's right. We're doing an unprecedented Monday night recording.
Yes.
So
we're going to get it out there. We're going to get ahead of the pack.
That's right. Even though reviews are out now,
Reviews
we're gonna
are
be out there.
now. We're gonna be
soon.
out there when people have seen it. We want to make sure people know that we saw it.
That's right.
As early as possible.
That's right. And as early as we could record as possible.
Yeah. Mainly because Troy's gone on vacation.
Yes. And Neil.
And Neil.
But also check Neil back on. We got a slew of Neil coming on. He'll be back for our Endgame review.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
will be back for our Endgame review.
Woo-wee.
It is if he sees it on time. So
If we see it on time. Yep.
Yeah.
5 feet to the coals on that one. So
There you go.
check that out. But that's what we got coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Hopefully lots of Neil.
A lot more Neil
Yeah.
showing up. It'll be a good time.
I feel like we gotta message Ben and Tyler and be like, "Is it okay if we take this guy for a little bit?"
Hey, I'm not under contract or shit.
Oh shit! We're gonna sign.
God.
We're gonna sign you exclusively, and then just like, we're gonna take you out from under them.
Yeah, I'll just have you sign random papers as you walk in. You're like, oh, sorry, you signed this.
Whoops!
It's legal binding.
Oops!
But that's the show for this week. So join us for our Iron Man 2 review and then Endgame. But until then, I've been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am GT3K, and
For Dinosaur Neil.
Dinosaur Neil.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt the end of your show. I'm Dinosaur Neil.
Oh,
Great.
good.
Great. We will talk to you next time. So we're off.
We're off.
Fuck, I forgot. You botched up the whole ending, Neil. You threw
God
me off
damn
my end game.
Fuck you, Neil. We're in the end game.
Avengers Endgame.
We're in the end game now.
Oh, yeah, we're off.